Welcome to the ManXChange podcast hosted by Coach Alfonso Short. Join him each week on Saturday mornings as he engages with his guests and they discuss men leading, boys thriving, and communities winning. The conversation is underway.
Good day, everyone. I'd like to thank you and say Happy New Year to you. I'd like to thank you for joining my podcast, which is a newly podcast for me called ManXChange. The purpose and objectives for my podcast is to make a clear positive impact on the young male youth community by offering visible examples of men who are walking in integrity and that are upholding family values, serving the community, and ultimately offering hope and giving hope to those around them. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you with another gentleman who will be my guest, Mr. Nate Whisett. How are you doing today, Mr. Nate?
Super good and getting better.
All right, thank you. I want you to just share a little about yourself, who you are, where you're from, if you're married, have children or whatever, and then just a little synopsis on a few of the things that you're doing with youth community, education, sports, so however you're involved in the community, and then we'll continue the conversation from there.
All right, briefly, Coach Nate Whisett. I'm educator for over 30 years, working in the Detroit, Metro Detroit area with students, coach basketball, author of the book, The Answer, basically how finding purpose and building relationships in the classroom. Also married, 2 sons, and that's like my greatest highlight of just being a father and a good husband.
All right. Well, that in itself, that you have 2 sons, and we're talking about ManXChange. And what are the ages of your sons?
18 and 20 years young.
Okay, you have been ManXChanges for a long time.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And to make it clear to the population, the community listening, Nate again is an individual that I've known for years, that we met some 20 years ago, I think it was, Nate, and has become again a part of extended family to my wife and I. And it's a pleasure that you were able to make time to share some things with me, with the community, and hopefully that we will continue to collaborate with more things as we move forward. What is some of the things that you're involved in doing that right now really occupies your time, because that's where your heart is in what you're doing and working with youth?
Well, currently I'm in the classroom, but I'm also working on some things, just educating our youth. By me being in the school system, I see a lot of pushback on learning and just working on some things. Now, I'm currently in the process of putting together an event as well as some learning strategies entitled Rap to Read, and incorporating a lot of that. The information in the book is there, as well as just giving the students an idea of how they can take that key vocabulary and use those raps and different poetry. They can either rap it out, they can sing it out, they can act it out, whatever their strength is, and put it all together. So another way of just obtaining information and knowledge.
Yes. A new form of, is that how Hooked on Phonics started? Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in my background, I actually was able to use it for myself in high school, where I had my high school speech teacher would allow me to write my speeches, deliver them for the class, and then I was able to rap my conclusions. So, the class was ready. We all just, it was a big thing to really tie all of the key points and everything together.
Yeah, to make it fun to learn. And though for children and young people, we tell them as adults, your job is to go to school, your job is to do school, your job is to do homework. But we forget to realize that maybe it's not fun, and we do need to find ways to make it fun more than just threatening that you better do it or you have no choice to do it. And that's
Right.
fantastic. I know we've communicated with many different things and programs and things that you're involved with young people around the Metro Detroit area for years.
Yeah.
Do you find while you're in the school system, because you're seeing this on a daily basis, um, what are some of the issues or factors or plight that you have in trying to have the involvement of other men with
Mhm.
you doing things in the community or some way connected to school, but still connected to maybe after school programs?
Well, it's just a lot of really focusing on what's the main thing, within the classroom and getting them involved and taking things seriously. Um, and like something you had it triggered when you said it, I come into class, sometimes I say that. I'm like, school is your job. You got it made. Either do your work or you don't get paid. See, I'm a teacher. Yes, I'm a scholar. The reality is you use your mind to make dollars. Learn to earn. It don't matter where you from. Knowledge is the new money. You better get you some,
Oh yeah.
And so giving them that concept of knowing that if I get this knowledge, then I'm already going to be connected in a financial way where I can put it together once I have that information.
Exactly.
And dealing with connecting men, that's another thing we have going is a team dads, and where the dad is duty above designated service. And we bringing men together, young, old, fathers, those that are fathers of the community that may not have children, but
Right.
we're bringing them together. And what we're doing, we meet, we talk about ideas, we exchange resources, we exchanged different ideas that we had, things that may be frustrating for us as raising our own children, but we're able to connect. And one thing that I found since we've been meeting as a brotherhood is that the influence that I may have over one person or one student, I may not affect the next one. You may
Yeah.
say something that he hears and it's
It-
gold. It's
right.
like, oh man, I that's the best thing I've heard. And I may have said the same thing to him, but it wasn't received in that light.
Right. Well, the thing is, one of my mantras is that it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a village to raise a village. We're always men, young men alike, people in general. We have to keep our learning hat on
Mm-hmm.
because life is a teachable moment every second that we are breathing and
That's
living. And so that I think that's fantastic that you have that type of camaraderie that's happening with men who are coming and want to be a part of that, because it's for enrichment of the children to see support, but for you as an adult male or whatever figure you are as an adult trying to work with young people, we need to know what we're working with, where they are instead of
Right.
where we want them to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are growing and they don't know, and a lot of things we don't know as well. So when we all communicate, when we keep that bridge together where we can cross it back and forth, then it becomes a safer environment. Now, and you go back, you open up my mind and take me back, because my ManXChange, my mantra for ManXChange is that it's a safe community to be informed, to be heard, to be healed, to be honest, to be humble, to be whole, and to be transformed.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that we're in the right place, in the right space to do that. So the goal is that we collaborate with each other, we learn and grow, and hopefully this community that's involved with us today and that will share this for others to see as we expand the podcast, that they share. And if you're men and you're interested or you have an interest in something that we can make a platform issue, we want you to definitely connect with us. Brother Nate has always been one that he's always doing something. He's in Detroit and now I'm in Mississippi. So I think we're on this. You're Eastern time still?
Yep, Eastern Standard.
But time doesn't bother. I'm a night owl. We don't talk as frequently as one thing we do, but when we talk, we make up for all the time that we miss talking.
Yeah, there it is.
And the thing is, we're only sharing and growing. We're sharing experiences of things that we may have encountered with dealing with the youth, dealing with the family, trying to find a way to become more effective in drawing the interests of both the child, the family, and for them to then take part in being how they can grow and help their communities heal where there's brokenness. And we want to continue to do that. Brother Nate, I know that you're involved in so many things, and we go to because you coach sports. Sometimes by you're playing the coach, and sometimes by volunteer draft because they need someone and they know that Mr. Nate is accountable, responsible, and almost he won't say no, but if he is involved, it's going to turn out something positive for the children and for the community. So what are some of your core values that you try to share with these young men, particularly when we get to sports now? Because young men, I mean, we say academics, and yeah, they want that, where you have them really understand how the sports and academics, particularly that you are a student in school, how they have to work hand in hand for you to get to that next level.
Absolutely.
And then hold up. And even if you don't get to that next level where academics is necessary and should be necessary.
Yeah, I've always come from the approach of you are a student athlete. You know, when you come to school, you know, school is the student comes first and then the athlete. When you enter in the sports world, you have to have a mental base that's going to connect you and have your grades together, number one, to even play. Because if you fall below that standard, then you won't ever see the court or the field.
That's
or
right.
What have you. And then in the next situation being, let's say if you blow your knee out or you take an injury, some kind of shoulder injury, playing football or something. Now it becomes a matter of, have you obtained and have you grasped enough knowledge that's going to sustain you from a financial perspective, or how to navigate through those difficult times? So you have to really take that into consideration. And I'm always pushing that. And even, you know, your character, you know, what things can keep you going, because it's easy to burn bridges, but being able to have bridges to cross over to get back and forth to where you need to be are important. And that comes from having good character, having understanding, morals, values, treating people like you want to be treated, and not making everything always about you.
That's so true. And that's one thing that I've noticed. And I've at times have been a coach for sport, and I know the young men, we see so much on TV of the super athletes, and then we're buying their paraphernalia and supporting it. And, you know, we're going to be like Mike or some of the other great athletes that's in modern day time. And you try as a coach, I know this as a coach and as a man, we try not to shoot that dream and aspiration down, but we have to come with the truth in reality, and then we want to come with a plan on how are you willing to put forth the work and the effort so that you can position yourself for that opportunity. You know, as I've taught, and one of my things I'm with kids, if I'm in basketball campuses and in life, is you're a teacher, and I've taught in all this and mentored of no effort, no results. So if you're not putting in any effort, then you're not getting results. So if you're not putting in the right effort, you're not getting the expected results. And the thing is to know how. I have a writing before, and you can take it for the meaning of it. Being told is not being taught.
Right.
You can tell someone something, but we all need to learn. And some people, you might be able to tell them and they learn and it happens. But most of us, majority wise, need to be taught how to do this or that. What are the steps to it? And as you said, you're a student first. So the steps are, let's get the basic education, reading, writing, arithmetic, and the reading is fundamental type thing first. You can work on the sport just as much, but it's got to be a balance with all of them. And the balance is that, as an athlete myself, I know at minimum, and this is probably through school to even graduate high school or any level, you got to have a C average.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to take some effort. And if it's given to you because you are an athlete, I say this, that's fine until the point when it's not given to you. Then what? Because we can get you through the fundamentals of school, basics, and get you through high school with something being given to you because you are a super athlete. And you get to college, it's more competitive about the sport itself. And a lot of young men do not realize that. So everybody's as good as you that's on the team, whether football, baseball, basketball, than you are. And if your grades are not right, you're not going to be on the team, and you're not going to get a chance to come back because those athletes were as good as you. Now, do you know how to deal with what can I do next?
Yeah,
I can read, I can write, I can do basic math, so I can stay in school.
Yeah, you gotta have that. Absolutely, and all of those different things, but you find that a lot of times people can't hear it. Sometimes it's like, okay, like you say, you can tell somebody what to do, but until they're actually in that experience and in that moment, and somebody says something to them or what have you, all of the outside influences are available and right there front and center. You never know how the response is going to be. But I often say teachable moments happen off script.
Yes.
It always happens, like the greatest lessons I've ever learned, I'll say it like this. The greatest lessons that I've ever learned have been those times when things didn't work. It wasn't those times when everybody was like, oh yeah, you're doing such a great job, coach. Keep up the good work. It's when you get in that situation where everything you tried has failed. And now you're sitting there like, wow, what can I do? And I found that during those times, I was more prone to listen. I was more prone to write down things that happened. And how do I go about fixing or resolving so that this won't happen the next time around?
I'm not sure, Brother Nate, if I shared with you, but I had someone share a message with me this week, and it was timely. And the message was, teach your son how to process disappointment so he understands that setbacks are a part of life. And that touched me because that's real. And the setback don't mean that it's not going to happen. It just means that, okay, we got to look at another plan. And we got to look at ourselves. And again, is it greater effort I need to put into it for the result? And how do I do that? Who do I do it with? A lot of times we are products of our environment as children and as adults. And we know we're dealing with young men who in the environment, you're either great or you're nothing. You're superstar at this or that, whether it's song, dance, sport, or whatever. You got the best car, whatever, or you're nothing. And that's competitive. It can be healthy, but it can be detrimental. Yeah. And we got to have the balance. And a lot of times the parents came up the same way. So they have learned well. But that's not working for the parent, nor it's working for the child. So as a teacher, know more than anything, myself as being in the school system as a mentor and volunteer, I know that the key is that you get the parents to participate with interest. They may not be able to do physical participation in doing something, but the interest that there's someone that has a concern for my child's well-being as I do, and they're better positioned to pour into them a little more than I'm even equipped with. Actually, I don't have anything in the bucket that I can give them.
Yeah, that goes with that influence I was talking about earlier. somebody else can say something and they, oh man, this is, yeah. That's like, and it may be a parent that's saying some things to their child that, but a lot of times when you right in that moment, or you saying you trying to show them this and they, going through, I think the prime example for me, my son, now that he's recently enrolled in college, he's calling back and he's saying things like, man, I decided to go to the thrift store today. I wanted to do this and that, and I'm like, some of the stuff we like, yeah, that's what you do. You check around and see, just go take a look. You might not get nothing in, but you see something that's like, just because it doesn't have a high dollar amount on it, doesn't mean there's not value.
Value
and trying to teach him that, yeah, it doesn't have quality, but you're trying to teach him that all the time while he's growing up. But now that he's out on his own and it's his money and he has to spend it wisely, now these lessons are all coming back into play. Yeah. Everything is coming back.
Yeah, that's called good parenting, mentoring, counseling, and it's ongoing. It's forever, and it for sure. You're a father, you're a parent, you're a husband. That life will always be teachable moments.
Oh yeah,
you're teaching. Sometimes you're learning, but you have to stay ready. And we have to stay ready at all times with young people, because their curiosity and creativity with things they see in their mindset, it's not going to be how we see it as older individuals, as the parents. Right. And they're in their time. It may seem risky to us, and it very well could be, but you don't want to say, well, no, don't do that, because you say, well, we can give you the warning signs.
Yeah.
And if these warning signs are coming, it might not be a great choice, don't say I didn't tell you that. Be prepared that this may occur, because then they may have another option that they can take and still strive forward for what they're trying to do.
Right.
And we can learn by the options that they say, well, I didn't think about that, but I still can go this way or another direction with it.
Yeah.
And each one means that we all learn and be ready to learn from somebody.
Absolutely. And in the midst of it, you see those different things to where, it's been times when I'm like, okay, now I got to veto some of this stuff and just tell them, now I got to help you with your decision making.
Yeah.
Because you have this opportunity, which is maybe making you $3,000 to work for 2 weeks. And you have this other opportunity that you don't even have your name in the hat or in the bucket or whatever. You don't even have an application in, but you're saying it's available. Now, do you let this go and you don't even have nothing over here? So let me help you. We're going to get you signed up. Since you already signed up over here to get this 3,000, you're going to get that. And then if that comes along, then you can figure that out as it goes. But
yeah,
some of those type of things you have to, and then he come back and be like, man, Dad, I'm so glad I listened, or, I'm so glad you said something, this, that, and other. Yeah. Because I'm looking at it. I don't know, I don't know how you even got on this side.
Well, you think about when you look at things, think about and this is nothing, no take on the young people. They see some jeans, a shirt, or shoes. It only costs $300.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
It only costs whatever it is, and they don't see that as a problem. 300 is not a problem, except that they don't have 300. They don't work.
Right.
And that means that it's only 300. Dad or guardian, whoever, you need to get your 300 ready, because I'm expecting that from you. And as adults or parents, we want to give the kids things that they expect of us, and it's things. But it's what you said, is pouring the stuff in where they can make sound decisions. Yeah. Let's give them the processes of what it takes to be a good thinker or a better thinker, and character that you spoke of, the integrity and humility, and how to live with your decision, the results of your decision, that you live with it and take it as a teachable moment and move on. Don't sit and cry about it forever, because it's over. If you're still living and that thing didn't happen the way you wanted to, you still living. So let's go to plan B.
Yeah, you can't sit there and blame everybody
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
You know, well, my daddy, he ain't raised me. He wasn't there for me.
You heard it. We've heard it before.
And you just going on and on and on, and life is going by. Clock just tick, 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 tick. Time is of the essence.
And that's the thing, and redeeming the time, and that's a greater inspiration and in burden in a good way that I have in my heart of sharing this experience of the podcast of ManXChange, that we as men can share these things that we have in common. You're doing it with the group that you said you have, and you have really figured out answers to some things that people can work out, that we can share this in a community of men and young men alike.
Absolutely.
That you're not the only one experiencing certain things going through. Everything that's happening to us is not the devil doing the work. It's just that we're doing the work backwards. We're using the wrong processes. We are putting forth effort, but it's effort for the wrong way or the wrong thing. The results we're getting is definite. You definitely keep doing A, B, C, D, and it's what you get, but you're looking for another result. So we want to put forth effort that makes positive results and good results. We want to put forth effort and see the results that we can not have pride of being narcissistic, but we're proud of, because it's going to be a benefit and impact on individuals in our families, our friends, and our community and society overall.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
well, Mr. Nate, I want you to share at least one more thing with us. What's made you the proudest of a lot of the things that you're doing, have been doing throughout the 30 years of teaching and being involved with children, parenting your own kids? What is something that's made you proud that you've seen the fruits of your labor, so to say?
Man, for me, especially as in education, just those students that come back, or you see. I was just scrolling through Facebook one day and I saw a post. It was like, who was the best teacher that you ever had? And, I seen a couple of that times my name popped up in the sketch. And one guy, he was like, yeah, man, he made me feel like, he said this N word, that's their terminology they use. It was like, he made me feel like he came to school just for me, came to work just to work for me. I wonder what he up to. I wanted to respond and say, this N word is still over here working. I reached out to him though, and we talked and chopped it up a little bit, but I'm glad to see that he made it over that hump.
And you made an impact because he remembered you. He remembered you to know that someone cared. And that's the difference in all people's life. But as men, we can speak. We were young boys before. It makes a world of difference to know that you have support of people or someone or a few people in particular who they have your best interests at heart.
Yeah.
And they don't have to say, I love you, that they are actually giving it to you, but you know that. And even the more as men, we want to become more vocalized and verbal with that, realizing that just saying I love you to someone and actually being able to perform the act and actions of that means the world, where we can open and release more as men, that we're saying that to our other young men and friends and family, and it's genuine and it's really an uplifting thing. Now I know that you're a man, you're, like you say, you're always working on programs and you're working with children, so you get a lot of information that you need time to sit down and really do the program. And you've written a book or two. You participated with an anthology book that was done by my wife's publishing people. And the name of that book, I have a copy of it. The name of the book, and I'll show it. Reach, Teach, Lead the Titus 2 principle. And I would hope that you would share the information on how to contact you for some of the things you do as a youth leader and program person after school with education, as well as get access to your books that you're a part of. For whatever information, contact information that you are willing and care to share, whether it's
I can be reached at Coach Nate Whisett through Instagram, as well as you can catch me on the web at www.thinkaplusfoundation.com. And that's where, a lot of the nonprofit work that we do is in there. And I also give you opportunity if you want to make a donation to the work that can be done there at thinkaplusfoundation.com.
Okay, we continue to share this information on our podcast and any other marketing that we do. I'd like to thank you, Brother Nate, for you taking time out on a Saturday when you have a busy work week, that we could share and start growing our community of ManXChange. Again, ManXChange, we not only survive, we will thrive, we will lead, and we will win.
Absolutely.
Okay? All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Take care.
All right. God bless.